drop whole game in the chokehold.
I be out on a late night, opposite a play fight. See sign break night, this break night. My wristwatch is like a brake light, and you can get it right on your gravesite. So tell me something I don't know. $50 pizza when I'm eating in Soho. I heard that you in love with the stuff in your hate me, they hate me. What should I do? Keep getting money. It's funny, I was just like you. Super Bowl Sunday with the facts. Security guard told Kevin Hart to relax. Oh!
Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop whole game in the chokehold. Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop whole game in the chokehold.
I reinvented myself, they sorta hated it. I reinvented myself and upgraded it. Traded in the Jews, copped a couple new ones. Lost a couple friends and got a couple new ones. Upstairs and downstairs, the balcony. These oceanside views, the alchemy. Ain't nothing crazy like the city in the summertime. So when it's winter, I still be on my summer grind.
Handle your business, handle your business.
Loyal and honor, don't break no bro codes. The more red rose, max with the rose gold. Whoever counted me out, they can't count. Oh!
Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop whole game in the chokehold. Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop whole game in the chokehold. They call a podcast Poppy. Kinkos, I see they tryna copy. Diamonds in the chains, bust down wrists. And you ain't never seen no like this. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop whole game in the chokehold. Chillax, 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 chillax. Chillax, 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 chillax. Chillax, 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 chillax. Chillax, 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 chillax.
Relax, 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 relax. Oh! Relax, 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 relax. Oh! Relax, 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 relax. Oh! Relax, 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 relax. What?
Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop whole game in the chokehold.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one on tap between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. They come in off the very rare tie a game ago.
And it'll be interesting to see what their mindset is going into this game. Sometimes that can be a deflator, and sometimes that can just really make you mad and more determined the next time out.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, they've been cooking these last couple months. Winners of 7 of their last 8 games.
And if you extrapolate that out to a full season, they'd be 14-2. And anyone in the NFL today would sign up for that.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They go play action here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
Every coach we ever talk to says to his team before the game, quick start, guys. Let's get out of the gate fast. How about that? They took his lesson to heart, didn't they?
They did exactly that. A nice diving catch here. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack.
He's NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Fielded at the 33. And a 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. And a glance at the tall signal caller, standing 6'6".
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section, where the columnists write possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the
touchdown Cowboys. A big play there. His 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
No problem there on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now a play fake here on first down. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Cowboys have recovered. And in this very cold night air, how much harder, Charles, is it to hang on to that football?
It's a lot harder, and I know for the most part we think about a ball being slick when there's rain or snow, any type of moisture. But when it's cold and dry like this,
and it is cold,
and it is cold, it's also slick that way because you're not able to really grip it the same way. Your hands are cold, and then the hits seem harder. So, yeah, it's a lot more difficult to hold on to the football, which means you have to emphasize it that much more.
Wind chills right now, 12 degrees. Now they'll run it on the toss. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guys at the cornerback position.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
Let's go, please.
To throw on second down. Robbins, and incomplete there. A nice hit, jars the ball free, and brings up third down. Here are the starters defensively for the Cowboys. They were very solid last week in the victory over Baltimore.
In today's football, there aren't a lot of goals for defenses. But when you hold a team under 100 total yards of offense, yeah, that has to be a goal that was met. Big check mark for them in last week's game.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Set, blue, landing.
Operating from the gun. Robbins. And this is Simpson with a catch. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective, how has he gotten there twice? What are we going to do to keep him out for a 3rd time? How do we tighten things down? Because he and his offensive mates, they are really in sync right now.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Leopard, Leopard. Watch it now, Barney, Barney.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Moving backwards on 1st down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Detroit, Detroit.
Looking to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle, and that's caught inside the 30. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys will extend their lead.
Well, Brandon, if we go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator, he showed us his script. Didn't show us everything now. He said, here's the script for the game. I think everything's going according to plan in a big way. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's about as good. That is as good as you can do, I guess. So, well done.
Yeah, well done indeed. Tremendous execution.
The point after is good, and it's now 21-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3 and out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Hurry up, here we go.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Robbins, and he will find his man on the outside. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. But I believe it was covered by an Eagle. It was. And Philadelphia is going to hold on to the football.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Now let's go.
From the gun, Robbins throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Fighting his way through contact. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else, end up going to the running back out of the backfield, and he picks up a back-breaking first down.
And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up.
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
Throwing on first down. Robbins going right side here, and that's complete. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Robbins, quick hitter here, it's complete. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They've made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation they've been prepping for. Now he's got it. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Floating one incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
To the back of the end zone, but too high. Over everybody and incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So you're a boxing guy. How do you score that on your boxing card? A very long drive, but 3 points.
And I really want to do my boxing analyst voice right here, but I'm going to keep it normal for us, right? I call it a draw. That type of a drive has to feel good, right? You take it all the way downfield, you control the ball, control the clock. But they only got 3 points out of it. So defensively, it could have been worse, right? So I give it a draw.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
Now back to throw. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's going to rifle one deep. Looking for Benjamin, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Now let's go. Blue line it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation. Operating from the gun. Robbins. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. And that sack certainly just strengthening his candidacy for Defensive Player of the Year. You think he's got that one in the bag yet?
I'm not willing to vote quite yet just because I want to wait until the season's over, but he is really tracking towards it. Just look at all the great plays we've seen from him throughout the season. Strength plays that you referenced there, as well as agility plays. Yeah. They just have not found a way to block him consistently.
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And what do you think's going through his head right now? Your team's winning, but you're not having your best game. That probably affects you even when your team is up.
You don't want anyone else to know it, but I think you're right. It bothers a quarterback because they always want to be the one to lead their team to victory with their play as well as their words. And in this case, he's got something he can fall back on. He's contributed, yet at the same time he's thrown an interception. Got to remember the bottom line, though. They're winning. So he knows if he plays better, they might be winning by more.
And it's only the second quarter, so he's got some time. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 20, 10, touchdown, Cowboys. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And the route is on here in this first half. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. He'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
This quarterback now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st and 10. From the gun, Robbins. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
Off play action. Robbins. Wide open receiver, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Back to throw. Robbins. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
And that last penalty makes this third down play a little more interesting. 3rd and 5.
Hey, here we go now. Green, 39. Green.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Walker with a grab, left side. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And they're back within 3 scores as it's now a 22-point game. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll throw now on the final play. Looking deep downfield. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Cowboy offense heading out. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is, don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here.
Similar to a slant, it's all about timing when you're throwing a crossing route. Quarterback and receiver have to be in sync, and when they put it on them just right and catch it full speed, running through a defense, can often result in a big pickup of yardage.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. In for the score. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts, oh, this is blocked. This is going the other way. But he will not be able to bring this one back, in the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
I remember when they changed the rule and there's a lot of consternation, especially coming from the kickers. Okay, how's this going to affect things, having to kick a longer one now, much more of a field goal attempt, and the defensive guys saw it as an opportunity to get more block.
That's exactly right. There's more effort now. Before, when it was snapped down near the goal line, you would basically see guys just stand there.
Yeah, not anymore. Now, those guys are going after it because not only can they knock it away and change a little bit of momentum,
and get 2 points.
They can pick it up and take it back for 2 points.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. And they'll run it here. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Call it no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Daniels finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he showcases the spin, a pretty good gain before he's taken down. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
No. Check. Patriot.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. It's complete right side to Benjamin. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Watch it now, Barney.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Room to run inside the 40. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Gun!
first down. He'll drop to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. And that one results in 35 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. A great effort there. His 21st touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys add on. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Extra point hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And that will extend this big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
That's complete. It's Bell. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Green, 39!
On 1st and 10, Daniels. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack.
We call that a sack flush.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
All right, here we go. 3, 9.
To throw on second down, Daniels being chased out left. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. And he fields it cleanly. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I
we
enjoy.
Share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP?
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number one for what we've seen this season.
And he finds a man on a crossing route. 23 yards on the play. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Back to throw now on first down. And he rifles one incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half. And I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
Pretty move. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now they'll run it on the toss. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say. The ball's not that heavy. Keep carrying it, kid.
They'll set up to throw. That is caught inside the 5. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Cowboys continue to pour it on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Another carry, same story. 4th quarter, and he is in red numbers right now with a running game.
Hard to believe because you figure at some point you break off a run. But in this case, what we're seeing is just pure domination by the defense. I think it started with the scouting report. They got into what they were doing offensively, into their mindset, and now they're beating them to the punch on every snap.
So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score.
All right, here we go.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Daniels. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Set. Green, 39. Green.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Detroit! Detroit!
That one looks like he'll throw here. His throw caught right around the 6. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A good pick up there of 20 yards. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this one. He's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him? Double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Now the extra point. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Green, 39! Green!
Throwing again. Daniels. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Looking to throw. Daniels throwing the out route incomplete. It's Simpson. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Cowboys, the win pushes their record now to 11-2 on the year. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, the loss is number 8 for them on the year. And they'll be back home next week for a date with the Washington Redskins. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
thicker the ply, thicker the ply, thicker the bag. Meet him a bite, now lease in the beamer. I'm Brian O'Connor, I'm driving it fast. They were just hating cause they in the way, and the way it been made it. The is mad. Man in that bag cause I'm all in my bag. Well, I ain't holding around. Just a little Merlin, out the cutie. Now I don't give a. Tell me why I would on the rose bar couch in my bag. Bands in my denim. In my denim, she was trying to for it out. She don't give a. She was in her bag. Fendi and some lane. Asked for a burger. Watch in the front seat of the fouled out J. We living so wild like Nas. When she was on in case we was on roll like tires. Where we gon' that? I'm in my bag like I'm in my bag, Mike. I'm really just running for money. I'm Love Flow Joe chasing a check. I'm really gon' run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. I'm really just running for money. I'm Love Flow Joe chasing a check.